This is an unpopular opinion. Diversification isn't just about owning more properties. It's how you survive Australia's rigged housing system. That's right, guys, because stacking 5 properties in the same suburb isn't a portfolio. It's a slow-motion financial car crash, guys. You think you're diversified because you got multiple properties? No, guys, you're just cloned the same bet 5 times. And yeah, let's go down the rabbit hole and see how deep this system really screws the average Aussie trying to build wealth. Today in That Property Bros, we're unpacking the myth of property diversification, how most Aussie investors are unknowingly concentrating risk, and how to actually structure your property portfolio like a pro. Like, we're looking at types of properties, location, and timing. So if you're ready for this video, let's rip into it. Firstly, guys, let's talk about diversifying by property types. What I mean by that is stop buying those clones of your first deal. Because you know what I see the most? I always see those typical investors buy one house and land build in a growth corridor and then go buy 3 more of that same type just like it. It has the same house design, same suburb, same tenant profile. It's like wearing the same outfit to every job interview. And then you're wondering, why do you keep getting rejected? Just to quote Domain in 2024, they said, quote, units are bouncing back as affordability bites, end quote. But to counter that, to give it a reality check, SQM Research has said, quote, a diverse tenant base is the best insurance policy, end quote. Because during the 2020 to 2021 run-up, houses outperformed units nationally by 20%, and this is according to CoreLogic. But in 2023 to 2024, inner city units rebounded 11% as immigration roared back. So this is my take, guys. What I'm trying to say is diversification isn't about how many properties you own. It's about how different those assets actually are. And here's why most people get it wrong, guys. Like, let me right now break down how you should actually diversify your property types if you want to survive the long game. Tip number 1, guys, think of your portfolio like building a football team. You should have these different types of properties in your portfolio right now. Like, my number 1 preference, if you can afford it, is houses. Because I don't know whether you know it, houses always give you land-led growth. Next on the list is townhouses. These guys are your balanced midfielders. For example, they will always give you strong rental demand and decent affordability. Third on that list is boutique apartments. Like, these type of property types, they always attract like the singles, the downsizers, and then the working professionals that want to live near where they work. But let me stress this, guys, you need to choose the location carefully. And then next on this hack/tips list, I want you to mix your tenant profiles. But then if you watch that slide, you're thinking, hey, tenant profiles, cute tenant profiles. What is tenant profiles? If you don't even know what your tenant profile is, you should be ashamed of yourself as a property investor. Like, what I'm trying to say, guys, is don't have 4 family homes rented out depending on the same demographic. Because what happens is if the market shifts, you want to spread your tenant exposure to, for example, younger professionals, students, or even retirees. Like, to give you a crazy example, I had a client that had a lot of apartments and they're all rented out to students. During the lockdown, he had 0 rent because all his tenants, their profiles were students because he was targeting students. And during that 1 to 1.5 years, he was totally screwed. But if he was smart and he had a different mix of tenant profiles in different professions and different demographics, he would have survived it. Next on the tip list is avoid cookie cutter new builds. Like, I'm telling you guys, these developer clones all hit the market at the same time and they always tank together when the demand dries up. For me personally, in the last 15 years, I've seen so many clients trapped with identical products, for example, properties, at the same time seeing hundreds of competitors undercut them on rent. Like, to give you another example, guys, when I was 23, I bought my first home. And at 25, my first investment property, my parents freaked out. What if nobody rents it out? And if you heard this many times from your parents, your friends, or your colleagues, that's a problem, guys. Everyone in our circle reacts that way when we buy investment property. What if no one rents it out? But they don't ask you, the issue is not what if no one rents it out. It's who will rent it out. Who is the tenant that will rent out? That is the main question they should be asking. Not, oh, what if no one rents out? That is such a dumbass question. Of course, people will rent it out. But yeah, guys, before I rant on more about my parents, let's move to the second point. We should be diversifying by location. What I'm trying to say is stop betting your life on one postcode. Like, this is one of the biggest lies in Australian property investing at the moment. People say, oh, I've diversified because they own different suburbs. But then when you look closely, those suburbs are only 30 minutes from each other. They're like ripple suburbs. That's not diversifying by location. Because think about it, guys. If your property is sitting in a big business hub, for example, like a big company, and if that single employer collapses, God forbid, or if the state laws change and, for example, it affects the demographics employment, I'm telling you right now, your whole portfolio will sink like a bad Tinder date. But then I don't know, to counter that, you always hear some random buyer's agent ad on IG or LinkedIn or Facebook. They'll say, quote, oh, Logan and Ipswich are where the big growth is, end quote. But to be more realistic, according to CoreLogic, they say, quote, state-based cycles vary drastically. Concentrated exposure will compound systematic risks, end quote. What I'm trying to say to you guys is different states move to different economic beats. For example, according to CoreLogic's data from 2020 to 2024 growth data, if you look at Perth, from 2020 to 2024, average property prices grew by 58%. And then down the list, in that 4 years, Brisbane grew by 47%. And down that list, Adelaide by 51%. And then down to Melbourne, 9%. And in Sydney, in the average 4 years, the growth was 18%. As you can see from this data over here, guys, each state is moving differently to its own economic beat. So as you can see, as one crashes, another booms. So as you digest this information, here's how you think about location diversification. Here right now are some non-financial advice tips. Tip number 1, spread across multiple states. For example, WA, they're driven by mining exports. Queensland, migration and infrastructure. Victoria, education and healthcare. New South Wales, global capital flows. By having a diversified property portfolio in different states, what you're doing is you're protecting yourself from state-by-state policy risks. And if you're sitting right there right now, crossing your hands, scratching your head and go, I don't believe you, Q. Well, look at the news headline, look at the policy changes. Victoria recently just upped their land taxes. And then just recently, Queensland is mucking around with rent caps. And don't get me started on good old New South Wales, my local area. They love fiddling with stamp duty. The formula is very simple, guys. When you have multiple jurisdictions in terms of different properties, that equals multiple safety nets. Just to give you another live example, just 2 weeks ago, I had one client who bought 5 properties, and all of them was within 40 kilometers of Brisbane CBD. When you look at his portfolio at hand, it looked like, yeah, it's diversified. But I'm telling you right now, like I said to him over Zoom, because he booked a 60-minute strategy call with me, I was very blunt. I said, mate, if the vacancies hit you in the next 12 months, or maybe like another Cyclone Alfred rips through the streets of your property portfolio, you'll be bleeding through from all sides, mate. Now, thirdly, in this video, let's talk about diversifying over time. What I'm trying to say is don't try to time the market like you had a crystal ball in your hand. Because you don't. Because right now, guys, this is where 90% of newbies destroyed themselves. For example, they wait, they hesitate. They pray for the perfect time for the market to crash so they can come in. But then when FOMO hits, they panic and they buy everything all at once. And most often at peak cycles pricing. Like these type of people, they're always on social media, they're watching my videos and also watching other people's videos, but then they're more attracted to those people's videos because those people are more positive, whilst for me, I'm always negative. They'll hear things like, quote, oh, 2025 will be your last chance before prices explode, end quote. But then to throw in old mate Warren Buffett, he'll say something like, quote, market timing rarely works. Buy consistently over time instead, end quote. Because guys, let's remove the emotions. Let's just talk about data, right? From 2010 to 2020, national property averaged 6.8% per year, even with major market disruptions. And from this data, this is my take, guys. What I'm trying to say is no one can time the markets perfectly. Your best bet right now is to stagger your buys like a dollar cost averaging in shares. So if you watched thus far, let me give you some tips. Here's how you actually diversify across time. Tip number 1. Plan to buy one property every 2 to 4 years based on your cash flow, lending capacity, and opportunity, not based on some YouTube guru's crash warning, including myself. Next tip is spread your purchases across rising markets. Like I'm talking about the flat markets, the quiet dip periods, and also the panic periods. For example, remember COVID? Everyone was crying and, oh, the world's gonna end, blah, blah, blah. That was when most of my followers and clients were buying properties, and they are killing it at the moment. What I'm trying to say, guys, is stagger it throughout the timeline of different property cycles. Don't just buy when the media goes, oh, the market is so good, it's so good, it's so good. I would rather you buy when there's a lot of doom and gloom, because that's when all the chicken shits are out there looking at the sky and go, oh, the sky's falling, I want to run away. That's when you capitalize on that opportunity. Next tip, guys, is to stagger your debt exposure. What I'm trying to say is borrow at different times of the cycle. For example, when interest rates were high, don't borrow much. When interest rates are low, we'll borrow a lot. Stack it in your offset accounts. Don't try to do it all at once. As you know, guys, the RBA in the next few months, or maybe August or even December, might be cutting interest rates. Maybe you should borrow then than now. But again, my financial advice. So yeah, guys, all in all, what I'm trying to say is real diversification isn't flashy. It's not some like viral content, and some of you who are watching this are probably clicked off. Yeah, whatever, I heard of that before, right? But this is how you, patient investors who are watching this video right now, can survive long term while the hype chasers eat dirt. Again, guys, as an overarching summary, here are my consolidated tips. Number 1, buy different types of properties. Buy at different multiple states. Number 3, stagger your entry points at different timings. Number 4, have a mixed tenant profile, or at least know that what type of profiles is your tenant. If you don't know, ask your bloody property manager. And number 5, time your debt entry. And with these 5 tips, guys, this is how you build wealth that outlives the next interest rate hike, even though, for example, it might be another few years. So guys, as a closing statement, it's your choice. Do you want to be part of the FOMO herd, or do you want to build something that will still be standing when everyone else is selling at a loss? What I suggest is, you want more information like this, either book a 15-minute strategy call or a 60-minute deep dive for me to build a holistic A-game lending solution combined with my financial advisors, my accountants, and my respected buyer's agent. Only if you want to build an 18 property portfolio game plan for you to build generational wealth and end the generational curse in your family. But hey, if you're not ready, hit the like button, hit the follow button. You want more videos like this, and most importantly, smash the share button. Share this information to your mate, because knowledge is power. And until next time, I'll see you in another episode of That Property Roast.